MinnesotaSports.com.
Some Monday statements here on Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. Score North YouTube channel. Boys, I'm gonna throw this out because Dex and I are both thinking along the same terms here. But my first statement is we have to update the list of top 10 Vikings moments in history to include the Bears' goofery at the end of that game against the Commanders. So not only did the Commanders hit a Hail Mary to win that game, Jayden Daniels, the best video in the history of, I would say, the history of football Twitter, going back 15 years, was taken by fans in the end zone. Stevenson, number 29 for the Bears. Before the Hail Mary is even snapped, he's got his back turned, corner of the end zone, taunting fans, thumping his chest. The ball gets snapped, and you see four receivers streaking down the field, and he is still back turned to the play, and he is still taunting and throwing his hands up, and he realizes, I better get over there and defend it. Actually, they would have been better off if Stevenson stayed in the corner taunting fans because he's the one that ran over and tipped the ball higher in the air for the Commanders player to come down with it. Just... if the Vikings aren't playing, sometimes the second best thing is for a hilarious Packers or Bears loss. And that was definitely a hilarious moment yesterday.
We have an apology from him, of course, on Twitter. Chicago and teammates, my apologies for a lack of awareness and focus. The game ain't over until zeros hit the clock. Can't take anything for granted. Notes taken. Improvement will happen.
Dude. What are people saying? Do you have the replies open? Are people saying, "Oh, that's nice," or are people dunking on him?
Let me see here. First one from Joey Swole. As a diehard Bears fan, I am livid and beyond angry and sad about this loss. But it's just a game, and you're only human. He forgives him. Joey Swole forgives him. Jake. The next tweet says, just put the fries in the bag.
Oh, no. Dude.
Oh, there's just, it's pretty good. It's pretty comedic. But
dude, if you haven't seen the video, man, I retweeted it. It's out there, but it's epic.
I wonder how Big Cat's doing today, because I got to imagine he's just fuming from Barstool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Big Cat from Barstool.
Yeah, Big Cat from Barstool. I got to imagine.
Yeah.
And look, maybe this is like a precursor into my statement, but like only the Bears, like only can that type of bleep happen to the Bears. And look, I'm not trying to throw stones because I feel like this could also happen to the Vikings very easily because worse things, as we saw play out literally 48 hours ago, have happened to the Vikings. So like I know how that goes, but only the Chicago Bears could give up a play like that, and then also for the Vikings fans, keep the Vikings, that is, out of last place in the NFC North, which is loaded. It's not the same as being in last place in a bad division where you have 5 or 6 losses. But only the Chicago Bears could manage a situation like that. And even I think Chase Daniels said this morning of, like, how do you even give up the 15-yard play to set them up to put them in the position to give them the Hail Mary?
Pointing that out.
There's some conspiracies about the clock operator in Washington.
I saw that too. Yeah.
That it was really sticky to start the play and then real quick to
that's what you
give them the time. But did they have like 6 seconds left or something? And they threw a little out route for like 10 or 15 yards. Mm-hmm. And then I'd have to go back and see, but did they drop everyone back or did they rush? How many did they rush here? 1, 2. They rushed 3 and then had like a spy. Do you need a spy in a situation like that?
Oh, on Daniels?
If you're the Bears, he's 60 yards from the end zone and there's a bunch of other defenders down there.
Yeah. Yeah. You also have, and he talked about this post game and said, we practiced this, but the last time I checked, Matt Eberflus, their head coach, is a defensive guy. And like you just got beat on the worst defensive play. And yeah, you know what? The clock, who knows? The clock operator might have screwed with things. But at the end of the day, if Stevenson is really in position and not racing, the best part of it is it showed he's racing over and he tips the ball, but he's like there at the last second. And of course he tips it up. He had to get his hand over the ball and just bat it down, right? Like that's the thing. That's inexcusable.
If they play 11 on 10 and he just stays by the pylon taunting fans, they win the game and he can keep taunting.
Or if he had taken a beeline since he was late, if he had taken a behind the play and cut off the dude who's just standing there, that's a recess play. I told you guys about this before. That's a recess play. You just stand there like this, right? Ball gets tipped up.
There's also a chance that if he were to just come in and straight up tackle that dude and give Washington the ball at the 1 yard line, that they could still win the game by stopping them on the next play, right? Or I guess they were down by 3. They could have.
Well, and you're banking on this though. That play. When is the last time you saw a true Hail Mary play like that draw a PI flag? They almost never do it.
It needs to be really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but that is to your point, Phil. When you saw dude coming over like, oh, I better get in here. Like the best part is Washington is running everybody, all the receivers, right, downfield, and Stevenson's still like this.
Yeah.
He's still looking out. He's like,
I know we can't really, don't like have the rights to show this, but like he is, when that ball is released, yeah, the receivers are like, so again, they're starting the play from their own 40-yard line.
Yes.
And he is still taunting when the receivers are crossing the 20.
That's great. It's all
funny. Shoot. The play's happening. The Bears, man.
I'll be better. Like it's like it was like a football mistake.
Well, yeah. And this is the thing. It's perspective for Vikings fans because if you think your life is bad because a couple of really good offenses carved you up a little bit and Christian Darrisaw went down, you're still 5-2. You still have, like a plus 60 point differential. The Bears, even when you think you have it right and you're the Bears, and they might still make a run for like 9 or 10 wins, you can't take the Bears out of the Bears, is what we found out.
I just don't understand it. Okay, as I alluded to in a tease on Purple Daily, and I will now bring it full circle, I saw the greatest 27-minute period in television history yesterday with my guy, Scott Hansen, and the Red Zone.
Wow.
All right, so I actually did track this. I went back and watched the whole thing again because of the absolute nuttiness of 2:55 p.m. Central to 3:22 p.m. Central.
The witching hour.
The witching hour, but the witching hour is always great. Never seen this, though. So in that time period, the Browns fall behind and then rally to come back to upset the Ravens.
Yeah.
The Cardinals rally to beat the Dolphins. The Patriots rally to beat the Jets. And most of this is being done in a triple box with Scotty. So at 2:57 we start. Like this is like a weather event. This is like a tornadic activity.
So you look at your like your weather app and it says 85% chance of chaos on Red Zone channel.
Yes. And it's so at 2:57 in my notes, the Packers and Jaguars enter the chat with the Packers up by 7. At 2:59, the Falcons miss a kick up by 5 at Tampa. That kick obviously pretty much ends that game, but it's not done. At 3:01 p.m., the Texans appear to lose the ball, and the Colts get a scoop and score to get a lead, but it's called that the runner is down by contact. So the Colts get the ball, but they don't get the touchdown. And Scotty Hansen was going so nuts that he didn't have a lot of time to regroup on that play in particular. So at first he's like, he's going to score. This is incredible. And then they sort of like didn't go back to it quick enough. And it's like, so he loses that touchdown. Okay. At 3:02, we go to the quad box.
Oh, the quad box.
The Jets
Let's go.
The Jets are up on the Pats. The Texans are up on the Colts. Or not, because if the Colts score, they would have gone up. The Falcons are up on Tampa Bay, and the Dolphins are leading the Cardinals. At 3:04, we have switched the quad box around. Texans, Colts, Packers, Jags, Cardinals, Dolphins, Falcons, Bucks. Okay. Also at the same time, at the exact same moment in the quad box, Evan Ingram outleaps not one, not two, but three Packers defenders to catch the tying touchdown. And the Falcons, in another part of the box, close out the Bucks. At 3:06, the Cardinals win on a last-second field goal. And simultaneously in Cleveland, Kyle Hamilton drops a sure interception of a Jamison Winston pass.
Jameis, put some respect. Put some respect.
I'm too
on.
excited.
Come on, Scott Hansen. Come on.
Wait. At 3:07, a minute after, Winston hits Cedric Tillman on a 38-yard touchdown to give the Browns the lead. A minute later, the Packers get a busted coverage.
Are we doing the whole half hour?
Yes. Hold on a second. A minute later, the Packers get a busted coverage. Malik Willis hits Jayden Reed to set up the game-winning field goal by the Packers. We're almost done. At 3:09, the Patriots beat the Jets as the clock runs out on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, and all of the Jets come up to the line like hurriedly to be like, can we get one more play? And the only guy who's just walking is Aaron Rodgers because he knows the game is done and he doesn't care.
He knows his career is over in 3, 2, and 1.
3 minutes later, we're back.
But then wait, the Chargers and Saints kick off. And
which by the way, we didn't need. You don't need to tell me the late games are kicking off. At 3:12, the Packers, Jaguars, Ravens, Browns, and Colts, Texans are all on. At 3:13, Brandon McManus gives the Packers the win. At 3:17, Lamar Jackson's incompletion ends the Ravens' loss to the Browns. And at 3:21, Anthony Richardson loses the ball, and the Colts lose to the Texans. The greatest. And at 3:22, it was done. 27 minutes of just glory. And you're right, they incorporated a 3 o'clock game. I'm like, get that game out of the boxes.
Yeah, I think they tried to sneak like Panthers, Broncos in there. I got the Broncos are driving. Get it out of here.
They did. Get that out of here.
Okay, question for the audience. If we were to launch a new podcast every Monday, and it's just Judd documenting his journaling of the Red Zone channel.
I wish I could. Because the Vikings games, I can't.
Well, you could record Red Zone channel.
Oh, I'm not going to go back. No, the thrill was the live action.
What if you recorded the Vikings game, and then you could come on the Monday show. Would you listen to Judd documenting 7 hours of, or just we just call it like the witching hour post game show?
You're not going to,
and it's just like 35 or 40 minutes of the early games coming to a head, and Judd's journaling of them read on a podcast.
It was unbelievable.
It was impressive work by Judd. But I will say, this just proves why Scott Hansen's like Scott Hansen just doesn't miss a beat.
Oh no,
it's incredible,
and he rarely gets a name. What that man does is a gift.
I mean, all due respect, because Judd did an excellent job there with his journaling, but like Judd had a hard time following his own journaling after the fact. Scott's doing it on the fly.
He's a close pro.
Screen number 1, screen number 2. What's most important, and he has a bunch of producers and stuff, but when it's like when the bullets are flying, and he's okay, we're gonna go to this thing right here. He never misses like the receiver's name or the defender who knocks the ball loose. He'll know who the edge rusher is by just looking at a number on a jersey. He literally studies every uniform number on every player's jersey.
He is a pros.
The starters, the inactives.
If what I just did was 1/10 as good as what Scotty does, I am honored.
You know what? They say the same thing about the folks at Finch Home Solutions. And that's why you don't even try on your own. You just hire Finch Home Solutions to do the work for you.
Absolutely right. And there are no bigger fans of safety in your home from an electrical point of view, and also making sure that you are a satisfied customer than our friend Cody and his team at Finch Home Solutions. And let me tell you about the Gemstone exterior lighting now available from Finch, a high quality permanent architectural that you can use for every holiday, special occasions, and also, as you can see with purple right there, game days with the selection of all of the different colors. We aren't talking about temporary holiday lights. Gemstone by Finch, high quality exterior lights designed to match and be flexible and usable any time of year. Look at those things. Once they are installed, they're installed. And again, you know what? Great for the holidays. Yeah, those lights are up. But what about, like, let's say before a Vikings-Colts game, early November? That's right. Make sure everybody knows who you're rooting for. Finch Home Solutions, 612-357-2604, finchhomesolutions.com, finchhomesolutions.com. Also, any electrical work, they do a fantastic job.
Also, shout out to Underdog, Dax, Underdog Fantasy.
Yeah, so yesterday it was National Tight End Day in the NFL. I didn't know that was an actual thing. But, you know, with those people that have signed up with promo code SCORE at Underdog, you know, they keep sending me all these great pick'ems. James sent me a 5-item all tight end touchdown pick'em here that I'm showing on the YouTube screen. That was a $5 pick'em that won him 1,000 bones because he rode the National Tight End Day. He took Tucker Kraft, Kyle Pitts, Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta. I mean, that's just impressive work for National Tight End Day. So James, bravo. If anyone else wants to get in like James and celebrate, I don't know, National Running Back Day next week, I'm not sure if that's officially a thing yet. Promo code SCORE at Underdog for a 50% deposit match.
Okay, let's stick with the NFL here. Let's stick with the NFL. My next statement is, in case it wasn't obvious when they beat the Vikings, the Lions are proving why I think they are the best team in the NFL. Now, the Chiefs are undefeated, and they won again yesterday. And by the way, National Tight Ends Day, Travis Kelce decided to show up for the season with double-digit catches yesterday. So nice little 2 months off for Travis Kelce, and he's back. He's old. He doesn't need to show up until they really need him for like playoffs. But yeah, so the Lions yesterday, if I were to have told you, and they're playing the Titans, and it's a home game for Detroit, so like they should have won the game. But if I were to have told you, hey, the Lions are going to throw for 85 gross yards in this game, 61 net yards when you subtract the sack yardage. So the Lions are going to have 61 net passing yards. What do you think the outcome of that game is going to be? Well, they scored 52 points, 52-15.
Yep.
Some turnovers, some good field position, and seemingly once every game they bust out at least a trick play or three, and this time it was David Montgomery throwing a touchdown pass. So they're either like throwing it with running backs or receivers or throwing it to 300-pounders coming off the edge. And as of the completion of yesterday's games, the Lions are now averaging 3.5 more points per game offensively than the next highest scoring offensive team. 33.5 points per game offensively for the Lions. The Vikings are one of the only teams to hold the Lions under their season average in scoring, for all you Brian Flores defensive truthers out there. But yeah, the Lions are, I think one of you said on our text thread yesterday, they are a wagon. They just decided to stop scoring. 52 points in 3 quarters, and they shut it down out of mercy and feeling bad for the Titans yesterday.
Where does Ben Johnson get a job? Because I don't think we're going to go through a cycle again where he says, peace out.
Well, he was very picky last year, right?
Picky.
He was offered the Washington job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, if you're him, that was a mistake in retrospect, because Washington winds up with Jayden Daniels. That's
point.
a good job now.
Good
So,
point.
well, I mean, who's firing? I'll throw out some teams. You tell me if the Giants are safe. Apparently, Daboll is safe, so we'll take them off the board. Raiders?
No.
I'm thinking a quarterback. I'm trying to think
Jags.
of infrastructure.
The
And
Jags would be probably,
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence try to fix.
I don't
that
like.
guy.
And if he's going to be picky, I'm not going to work for Mark Davis. So,
The Jets?
good God, that's a good. Ooh, I don't think so.
I would, yeah. If you're going to be picky. You know?
Yeah. And again, their owner sort of a nut job. So no, I don't like the Jets.
I mean, the Panthers could be in the market again.
The
but
Jaguars
that's
are an interesting one.
Yeah, because Doug Peterson's probably gone, right? They're going to miss the playoffs.
And I do have a question, and it's not a consistent thing, so he's not crap. But what's going on with Trevor Lawrence? Like, some of those throws I see are just atrocious. Not all of them, for sure. He throws some nice passes still, but I just expected way more from him, and I felt like we got it until he got hurt last year.
It's crazy. He looked really, really high end until the ankle injury last year, and ever since then they've lost almost every game they've played, and they just look like the Jaguars before they drafted Trevor Lawrence. with just random hodgepodge, Blaine
The interesting
Gabberts
one
and
on
whoever else.
The interesting one to me on Ben Johnson would be Dallas, but Jerry Jones again scares me. But that being said, you got a quarterback, and I don't think, I mean, Dak's not. So that would be an interesting one, and I could see them offering him the moon financially.
Well, and Jerry loves to have the McCarthy was he stepped out of line by hiring an established coach. He loves to have the coordinator coach that he can kind of put his thumb on a little bit, maybe the guy that doesn't have a ton of pedigree.
Yeah.
Which is why Belichick probably doesn't make sense. Right. The Browns, I wouldn't fire Stefanski, but you know who's interesting? If the Bengals decide we're done starting every season 1-3 and 0-2, and we just think Zach Taylor he's not it. If you were the Bengals and you made a move and said, let's get Joe Burrow, one of the smartest offensive gurus in the league, in Ben Johnson.
Do you guys think there is a chance, because I do, that Stefanski and the Browns, that Stefanski says, I want out? It's very clear Deshaun Watson was forced on him. And I mean, Jameis Winston comes in that offense and looks great. I just wonder, speaking of owners that are off the rocker and meddling, I mean, Jimmy Haslam seems to be that. And the word was that they had basically said, hey, we're paying Deshaun we are starting Deshaun Watson until he can't start, which now he can't. Stefanski, I think if Stefanski puts himself on the market, he gets a job really quick.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to fire him because he's not gonna turn down. You want to collect that because he's still under contract for like 2 or 3 more years. That's what I'm saying.
I wonder if he would try. I wonder if he wouldn't mind.
If it was, can I go to another organization that isn't the Browns and it's a head coaching job for equal money? And, yeah, hell yeah.
Well, and I do think he's good. Like I don't think he's become dumb.
Agreed. Yesterday was a great example.
Exactly.
I mean, you brought it up, man. Jameis Winston comes in. Did you see the pre and post game interview with Jameis Winston?
I did not hear the post game. What
statement within a statement? Jameis Winston is a national treasure that must be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
So before the game,
great.
He was down there. I think, was it Tracy Wolfson? Can't remember who it was. I think it was Tracy Wolfson. But it was Jameis. You're about to make your first start of the season. What are your thoughts going out there? And he always has this like quizzical look on his face.
He does.
And I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said like full unwavering belief, full praise to the Lord and full unwavering trust and belief in each other. And she asked him like 2 or 3 other questions. He just answered with the same full unwavering belief and trust in each other. And then after the game, he quoted Eminem, and he was just dead serious. He's like, there's a rapper up there in Detroit who I love and respect. His name is Eminem, as if he's introducing Eminem to the NFL audience.
Yep. And
Eminem once said, and he quoted the lyrics from "You only get one shot to not miss your chance to this opportunity comes once in a lifetime." End quote. That's from Marshall in Detroit. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Anyways, are we firing someone's ass here, Dex?
Yes.
Okay.
This is so easy. We're gonna go off the gridiron and off the court, off the ice. I am firing any architectural designer that thinks this is a good statue of Dwayne Wade, which I'm showing on the YouTube channel for the podcast audience. If you have not seen this, just Google Dwayne Wade and the SEO will work for you. Apparently Wade visited this like 4 times in production. I saw Rachel Nichols had this note on Le Batard this morning that like he was aware of what this was going to look like. This wasn't a big reveal to Dwayne Wade. He hadn't seen what it looked like. What is this? Who is this guy? This isn't Dwayne Wade. I don't know who the hell this is. Someone photoshopped even the epic alley-oop with LeBron and Dwayne Wade, from the Heat days. And they put the statue where Dwayne Wade's arms are like this.
Dude,
I don't know what the hell that is, dude. It's so bad.
Someone else took it was a photo of like his wife, Gabrielle Union.
Oh,
I don't know if it was their wedding or
their
whatever,
wedding.
but they replaced Dwayne Wade from the wedding photo with just the head. It was
I saw a tweet this morning or a picture of Dwayne Wade actually as proof visiting the architect and looking at the head and like, oh,
Is
yeah.
it just you feel kind of bad, like you don't want to disrespect someone at their craft and they're
Who
doing
does it
this to
look like?
honor
Let's
you?
go back to it. Let's throw it back up there and decide who it really looks like.
But let's say we were doing a Score North Judd Zolgad statue for all the years of service that Judd has provided to Score North and Purple Daily and the Mackey and Judd show. And there was this high-end statue making company. I believe it's the same company that made like the Kobe statue in LA and maybe the Shaq statue. If you caught a glimpse and thought to yourself, I don't think that looks like me at all whatsoever, but they're making a statue for me, would it be sort of like narcissistic if I were to make a comment, or do you just let it slide?
I think if you're Dwayne Wade, you'd probably say, I mean, this guy looks 78 years old.
I know, he looks old. He looks like Uncle Ben.
It's somebody else put who's the guy from Rocky IV? The guy who throws in the towel. Throw the damn towel.
I'm throwing the damn towel.
I don't know, but it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Amazing.
Who else got a bad statue? There was one about 6 months ago or so. There's somebody else sports wise. They did a statue and it was like looked nothing like him.
We need to have a ranking of bad sports statues. I would say the Twins ones have been pretty good outside Target Field.
Actually, they're great.
Most part. Yeah. So, all right. Well, there's a Statements Monday here on Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. We'll start with that Judd statue here. We'll get production working on that.
That's one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Oh.
Amazing. And then Purple Daily, if you haven't checked that out, we kind of took a deep breath over the weekend and gave you our new expectations for life post Christian Darrisaw, 2 straight losses. And then Flagrant Howls, Timberwolves, got the offense clicking. We got Kyle Tigey joining us on a Monday Flagrant Howls edition, State of the Timberwolves. So we're off to the races here on a Monday across the Score North pods. Click that subscribe button too if you haven't already on the Score North YouTube channel. See you guys.